everyone. My name is Callie Teagard, and I am so excited to welcome you to this webinar to learn more about promptings. You were invited here by a friend or someone you know who wanted you to learn more about promptings, and that's what we're going to share with you tonight. I will tell you, I got introduced to this company several years ago. I was looking for an easy way to stay in touch with my clients. I had a business that I was building. I needed an easy way to send birthday thank you and holiday cards. And when I found this system, I knew it was an amazing tool to build connection in my business life. And I also realized in my personal life as well. What I will tell you is what I didn't expect when I found this system was that it was also going to connect me to my purpose and put me on a pathway to prosperity. And for that, I am so grateful. But before I get ahead of myself, I want to bring on our founder and chief visionary officer, Mr. Cody Bateman, so he can share with you why he started Promptings and the best way for you to act on your promptings. So Cody, I'm going to let you take it away.
Hi, everybody. My name is Cody Bateman. I'm the founder of the Promptings movement. Appreciate.
Give me 1 second. I think that may not have come through right. Let me bring that back up. Yes. Okay. That should be. Here we go.
Hi, everybody. My name is Cody Bateman. I'm the founder of the Promptings movement. Appreciate you being with us tonight. I want to share with you a couple of stories. One is how this whole thing started in the first place and what our mission is and what we plan to do to change this world of ours by helping millions of people act on their promptings. We hope that you're one of them. So it all started back in 1989. I accepted a job offer. I just graduated from college and accepted a job offer to work for an ad agency in New York City. So when we accepted that job, we packed up all of our belongings. I was newly married at the time, had a little baby girl. We packed up all of our belongings, put it in a U-Haul truck. We were driving this little car of ours in front of the U-Haul truck. And we went over to my mom and dad's house to say bye to the family. So we said our goodbyes. And I remember coming out in the front of my parents' home, and we got into the car and we put little baby Whitney in her car seat, and Jody got into the passenger side, and I went to get into the car. And as I went to get in, I looked over in a lot adjacent to my parents' home. My older brother, Chris, was moving some vehicles around in this lot. And at that moment, I had what I call a prompting, an intuitive thought that I needed to stop what I was doing, go over to my brother, give him a hug, tell him I love him, and say goodbye. That was the prompting. And we were in a hurry. There were people waiting for us. There was another couple that was moving with us that was driving the U-Haul truck. And we all needed to leave. And so what do you think happened? I ignored the prompting. I remember getting in the car and driving away, and I honked and waved at my brother as we drove off, and he waved back at me. I'll never forget the look on his face. And we drove away, and we drove all the way across the country, moved into our new home in New York City area. And a couple of months went by and everything was going well until one night I got a phone call about 2:00 in the morning. And my mother was on the other end of that line, and she tearfully let me know that my brother Chris had just been killed in an accident. Now, that was devastating news. In fact, I remember when I got that news, the first thing I thought of is that I had this prompting that I needed to say bye to him, and I ignored it. So at that very moment, I made a promise to my brother Chris, to myself and to my brother Chris. I said to him, I said, I'm sorry, brother, that I ignored that prompting. And I promise you that when I have promptings to reach out in kindness to others, I will act. And I'll do all I can to help as many people as I can do the same thing. That was in 1989. Excuse me. That's when this whole thing started. That was the dream that was put into my mind at that moment. And everything I did from that day forward was to figure out how to deliver the promise. I needed to act on my promptings. I needed to help other people act on their promptings. Now, keep in mind, this is a long time ago. This is in 1989. It was even pre-internet days. We didn't have the internet back then. So the concept and idea that I had was I had to find a way to help people act on their promptings. And I knew that for myself, the way for me to express myself, my appreciation, my kindness to others, it was a lot easier for me to write those things. Like if I wrote somebody a message in a card, it was a lot easier for me to express myself in a card than it was verbally. So I figured early on that whatever I did, it was going to have something to do with greeting cards, because a greeting card was a simple way for me to act on a prompting. If I had a prompting to say thank you to somebody, I could quickly send them a card with the words of kindness in them. So I started doing all kinds of things pre-internet days to try to figure out how to do that. You can't even imagine the things that we tried to do, but this thing called the internet came along. And when the internet came along and I saw the possibilities of the internet, the light bulb went on that, man, if there was a way that you could send a real greeting card over the internet. So if I could call up the internet and pick a card and type in a message and click it, and somehow it went over the internet to a printer and the printer would print it and send it for me, man, that would be cool. So we went on a long journey to try to figure out how to do that. We actually pioneered the technology that calls for through the internet for variable print on demand on printers. Nobody had done that before us. And we did that back in 2001 and 2001 and 2. So we finally had created what I call a mechanism. We created a mechanism to help people act on their promptings. And what it was is the mechanism allowed me as a person to go onto the internet, onto the mechanism, and choose a greeting card and be able to type a message into the greeting card and then put in an address for that person and push the send button. And then over the internet, it would go to our printers. We would stuff it, stamp it, and mail it out for you. And we started doing this way back in 2002 was when we first started doing this over the internet. Nobody had done it before. So it was a powerful mechanism. In fact, once we had the mechanism to do this, I wanted to start changing my habits and other people's habits. The habit I wanted to create was I sent cards to people every single day. So one of the habits that I had was is that the first person I thought of, I would send a card to. And I'm going to share a story about this card right here. So I got up one morning and my habit was first person that comes to mind. The first person that came to mind that day was a lady by the name of Pat Chase. She does the music at the church I went to. So I went to my mechanism that we had created. We had about, I don't know, maybe 100 saved greeting cards in there. And this was one of them. And it says beauty on the front. So I picked this card. It says beauty on the front. And inside it said things are beautiful if you love them. So I want you to watch the words that I wrote in this card to Pat Chase, who does the music at the church. So right from my computer over the internet, I typed these words. I said, Pat, just a quick note to let you know, I appreciate what you do for us at the church. You make music beautiful, and I'm a better person for it. Your friend, Cody. That's simple. And I clicked the send button, sent it off to her. Now I want to explain to you what happened when she received the card. A couple of weeks went by and I show up at church and she comes up to me and says, Cody, first of all, I want to thank you for this card you sent me. And I want to tell you what happened the day I received it. She says, I got up in the morning and I went into the front room of my house. I was going to pick up the receiver of the telephone, my intent was to call the leader of the church to let him know that I was no longer going to do the music at the church. She said, I don't remember a time when somebody thanked me for the service I provided. The only thing I got were complaints as to why I didn't play this music or that music. She says, and I was really frustrated. And so I was about to quit. She said, but something told me to go get the mail first. Now we know that that's called a prompting. She was prompted to go get the mail first. So she did. She hung up the receiver of the phone, did not make the phone call. She went out to her mailbox. The only piece of mail on a Thursday morning was this card. She opened up the envelope from her mailbox, read this card that you're looking at. She says, Cody, I want you to know that I was at my mailbox and I openly wept, she said. And I want you to know that when I went back in the house, I did not place the phone call. And I'm not going to place the phone call. I will keep doing the music of the church, and I will never, ever, ever forget you for how you made me feel with that card. Thank you very much. That's the power of acting on promptings. Now, we've come a long ways since then. Our job now is to help millions of people act on their promptings every single day. A big thing that we tell people is to send heartfelt messages of kindness, just like the story I just shared with you. We have thousands of people all over the world that are doing this. They're sending heartfelt messages of kindness to people. Now, you don't think that can change the world? It's changing the world. Millions of promptings have been acted upon, and we're just barely getting started. But here's the beauty of it. When you send these messages of kindness, there's amazing positive energy that comes back to you, the sender. And when that energy comes back to you, the sender, it really taps into who you are and what you're meant to do as a person. It's an amazing feeling to have. All you got to do is send kindness to people every day. It creates appreciation energy, and you begin to appreciate who you are as a human being. So we ended up creating a mechanism that really connects you with two key things. And we call that the promptings process. And the promptings process allows you to connect with people on the right side of the screen and with purpose on the left side of the screen. And that's what this is. So when you send out kindness to others, you're connecting with people all the time. You know, we've become the best relationship marketing tool in the world today because of this. Because a lot of businesses use us to follow up with their clients or customers. But what we teach is to send heartfelt messages to them. There's system cards that will do it automatically too. But the best way to create genuine human connection is these heartfelt messages. So over the years, we became the best relationship marketing tool on the planet because we had a way for you to act on promptings and appreciate people that you did business with. So that's just one example of how this promptings process connects you with people. But guess what? It also connects you with purpose, because that energy is coming back to you as a person. It ignites your inner voice. It tells you who you are as a person. That connects you with your purpose. Okay, it brings up that whole new energy of who you are as a person. And we have since created all kinds of tools and different things to help you to nourish that inner voice, to nourish those inner promptings. Some of the best personal development programs on the market today come from promptings, because we have ways to teach you to use this process, this mechanism, to initiate positive law of attraction principles in your life. It's an amazing thing. So if you utilize this, if you use the mechanism to reach out to others, you can use the same mechanism to reach to yourself. What it does is creates a pathway to prosperity for you. That's where we've come. We started it just to send cards to people, but it ended up being what you have on this screen today. Now, I'm going to turn the time back to our host. We have numerous people that are going to share their stories with you tonight of how the mechanism and how the process has transformed their life. Thank you for spending the time with me tonight, and you're in good hands with our host and with some amazing people that act on their promptings every day. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Cody. So glad you were on and were able to share with us tonight. So Cody mentioned, right, connecting with people, connecting with purpose. How do we do that? We teach people to act on their promptings, appreciate others, and attract prosperity. Promptings are those intuitive thoughts that call you on to take you to positive action. When we're done here tonight, I want you to get back with that person who invited you. They have a promptings.com website just like this. Have them send you their link or take you there, and you can learn more about promptings, because promptings will create genuine human connection and guide you to your personal genius. And what's the best way to act on promptings? As Cody said, it's heartfelt messages have always been the best way to act. Our promptings mechanism makes that so simple. What is our promptings mechanism? It is send out cards. It's a system designed specifically to help you act on your promptings, reach out kindness, and also an amazing follow-up and business tool. I am now going to bring on our first guest. I am really excited to have Joy Klohonatz on. I just spent 3 days with you, Joy, out in Salt Lake. Cody talked about we have some of the best personal development, and we got to attend that this past weekend, which was amazing. I know you've been using this system. You started using it as a way to stay in touch in business, and for you, I know it's grown into so much more. So I'm gonna let you take it away from here and share a few of your stories tonight.
Okay, thank you, Callie. Thanks for having me. I feel so honored to be on here tonight. And you're 100% right. We act on our promptings all the time, and we do things to help other people. But you know what? Sometimes you get messages back that just unbelievably make you realize you are in the right place, and it touches you as much, if not more, than when the person you sent it to. So the first card I want to share with you, I got stopped by a policeman going a little too fast. We all have gone through that, I'm sure. And, my husband never gets tickets. Me, on the other hand, I do. But anyways, in this particular case, I did not. I was just given a warning. Afterwards, I walked away and I thought, that gentleman, he was very kind to me, regardless of the situation. And I decided to send him a card just saying thank you. Thank you. You handled it very well. It could have been a lot worse. I just appreciate you doing your job. And along with that, I sent a Starbucks gift card. Now, I didn't think anything of it. And it was probably about 3, 4, 5 weeks later, all of a sudden I get this 8x5 envelope in the mail, and it's labeled State Police up in the corner. And I thought, oh gosh, what did I do? And here it was a letter from that officer. And he sent it to me. He says, I'm touched by your sentiment. I am appreciative of not only your kind words, but your thought, time, and effort to send a card and a gift card. We as troopers don't very often get thanked for what we do, let alone when we issue a citation. He said, that being said, as a trooper, I'm not permitted to keep the gift, so I'm returning your gift card. And here's the key words. I am returning the gift card, but I kept the thank you card and placed it with other mementos of my career that will be passed on to my children. And that just touched me so much, to think that simple gesture made that much of an impact on him. The second card I want to share with you, this was a case, obviously someone's husband passed away, a friend of mine, and I like to grab a picture, if they post it on Facebook. We have this great card, Forever in Your Hearts, and I added that, put his picture in there. You can read the messages that I sent there, and I sent the card off to her. Afterwards, of course, she had mentioned to me and thanked me so much for the card. Well, come January of this year, I get this message on Facebook out of the clear blue, which says, Joy, I wanted to thank you again for the beautiful card you sent to me when my husband passed away. I kept the picture card of my husband I keep the picture card with my husband with me every day. When I go to sleep, I talk to him about my day as I hold my picture card, then place it on my heart when I go to sleep. The card has helped me get through my grief. I just wanted you to know what a blessing that card had been to me. I got this message from her a year later after her husband passed away. And when I got that, I was in tears, thinking that impacted her so much, because now she just totally impacted me very much. Of course, I messaged her back. Well, the story continues. She actually passed away herself of a brain aneurysm a month later after sending that message to me. And there's just so many things in there that are so emotional for me, because, it was meant that she wanted to let me know how special that card was. And it happened while she was still with me. So that was it touches us, these cards. My third sample that I want to give you here, this is part of a campaign card. Every time I have a new customer that comes on board, they get 3 to 6 cards, depending on which campaign I send them, throughout the year. And last year I did this one, and last year's campaign, I sent their final card 1 year later. So you can see 365 days, 52 weeks, 12 months, 1 year, and then a message to them like, it's been a phenomenal year with send out cards. You know, I hope you've enjoyed sending, continue to sending, and I always include brownies. Well, this is a year later, and we all know we have customers that continue using the service. Some change it around, some stop using it for a while or whatever. And so I've got all these cards queued in my back office to send to people, you know, that are queued to go to them for their year anniversary. And I was really thinking like, wow, I wonder if I should, you know, continue to send the brownies or not, or just make it a card or whatever. And about the time that thought gets into my head, I've had 2 people in the last month and a half that have posted on Facebook thanking me for the card. Wow, it's been a year now, and I have been doing my greeting cards with send out cards. Thank you, Joy, for the gift. This has been great. Somebody else messaged me saying about, oh, it's been a year of friendship. Thank you so much for remembering me and sending this card. And both of these folks, one of them doesn't really use the system too much anymore. The other one uses it a little bit, but 3 days ago, one of them bought a large package to continue sending send out cards. So again, it touches me that we can make such a difference with what we do.
Thanks for sharing that, Joy. Really does make a difference, right? And you started using the system just to connect with clients, and now you have really built connections, and that no matter what business you're on, right? If people want to do business with people they know, like, and trust.
Yes.
Reaching out into kindness, sending heartfelt prompting cards helps you do just that. And you don't do that just so people remember you. It's because of who you've become, right? It's helped you connect with your purpose. But really, for anyone in business that's watching that tonight, this system allows them to build that connection, build that relationship. Because if you think about it, we like to go to dinner with our friends because they're friends, because we know, like, and trust them. People do business with us because they know, like, and trust us. This is one way that you can use, show who you are as a person, and build know, like, and trust.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Joy, for being on. Our second guest tonight, Travis Lape, is an educator, works in school education, just got a huge award from Apple. Congratulations, Travis. I know you started using this system. Well, when Mike first told you about it, you did it right away. You didn't think you were going to use it much. And then all of a sudden you realized the power of it. I know it has connected you both to people and purpose in your life. So I would love for you to share a little bit about your story and a few of your cards tonight with everyone.
Thanks, Callie. And yeah, I didn't know how I was going to use this system. Mike, the individual who worked with me and got me signed up and started, really encouraged me to use this in the school system and really build those relationships with our staff. My district role, I'm in a lot of buildings. I work with a lot of different staff. And this was a way for me to capture moments in their classrooms or celebrate them as educators. And then what's beautiful about the system is we live kind of in this Amazon world of we click and something shows up. What I love about this system is that in the moment, I act on my promptings, and about 4 to 5 days later, the prompting actually shows up and does the work, because now it's landing when it just needs. And this first card that I want to share with everyone tonight about is exactly that. I was scrolling through Facebook. This is one of our teachers, and she had posted all these pictures with her little boy at a rodeo that happened, and she just shared just how much fun it was and the memories she made with him. And I was like, oh, you know what? This is going to be an awesome card to send to her and have it arrive at school in a few days. And so I put those pictures together. I love our cards that we can customize. That photo on the front is from one of our cards in the catalog. And I sent it. And I walked away. Like I acted on my prompting and I walked away. And in a few days after the card arrived, I got an email, and the email said, Travis, thanks so much for this incredible card. My morning today was hectic. It was stressful. And I even arrived at work sitting in the parking lot crying, asking myself, am I cut out to do this? I come into school and here is a card from you, and I open it up and I'm reminded of my purpose. My purpose is my kids and my kids in my classroom. Thank you for always being there for me and sending these cards as a reminder that I matter. And so again, it was just an easy way for me to act on my promptings. I saw one of our teachers put these pictures out, and I said, how can I show appreciation to them? Use the system, use the cards. The next card is a card that really is touching, because this gentleman and his wife were really a big part of my life growing up. Growing up in a small community, in a small church, these two played a huge role in my life, in my faith walk, and they were always there on youth trips or different outings. And so once I started sending cards, I sent cards to people I hadn't connected with for several years. And so Dwayne and Linda, I started sending cards. I got reconnected with them. I messaged with them periodically. They always would put fun pictures up on Facebook, and I would grab those pictures and send them cards. And this week, this card, it's harder for me to talk about, because Dwayne gained his eagle wings. He went to be with the Lord, and it was totally unexpected. This was the last card I sent them, saying happy anniversary. And I think this picture says a lot. When to a picture perfect couple, they loved each other, they loved the Lord, and they love kids. And I'm just thankful that since I've started sending, I was able to reconnect with Dwayne. I was able to reconnect with Linda. And I looked actually this week after I got the news on Monday that he had passed, how many cards I had sent. And I've only been with Send Out Cards for a little over 2 years. And in those 2 years, I have sent Dwayne and Linda over 8 different cards. And I would not have without Send Out Cards, without this system to act on our promptings when we see it. And that's what I love about this. When I got started, they told me we scroll through Facebook or Instagram all the time. And what happens when we see something cute or adorable? We usually have an act of something like, oh, that's cute, or we like it. Well, now I save it and I come back to it later and I send that as a card. So rather than just having it be a moment in time, I try to capture that moment in time and connect with people. My last card is exactly that type of connection. This is Austin and his wife. They had a new little girl, and Austin's in the insurance business. And I've been sending Austin cards. Austin and I went to the same university, so we have connections there. And so I would send Austin some fun cards throughout. And he's got them all displayed in his office, because the other day when I met with him to talk about Send Out Cards and how he could use this as a connection and a relationship builder, they're all on his little window shelf. And he told me the one that really pushed him over the edge was this one. When he got this card with that gift, the little pink giraffe, which is one of my favorite gifts, either the pink one for the little girls or the blue one for the boys. This card is a fun card because of the gift and the meaning behind it, and that is celebrating him as a new dad. It was his first time. And so when he got this card and the feelings he got from it, his message to me was, Travis, we need to meet. I've got to figure out how to build this into what I do every day, because you have sent me so many cards and you've connected with me. I want to figure this out. And so last week I met with Austin. We talked about this, and we talked about it from kind of more of the mindset. How can I send without any intentions? All the stories that you maybe heard tonight, from Cody's stories to Joy's stories to mine, they're all sent with no intentions of anything coming back to us besides the joy of sending. Now, I'll tell you, when I get those messages back, those messages mean the world to me. And that's my purpose. Like, that's my why. I'll continue to send, and I'll continue to show appreciation to others, just in hopes that it makes their day, it lands when it needs to land, and it makes that impact out into the world. Just that little ripple effect can start to create a wave of kindness. So those are my 3 cards, Callie. It's been fun. I can't see myself without it.
I love that, right? And Cody has taught us to celebrate people while they're living. And you did that with those mentors right? That because of this system, you were able to reconnect. I had a teacher in my life that I was able to reconnect with. And, I know what that means to people and what they mean. And you got to celebrate him while he was living, not say kind words after he was gone. And that is the power of the system. And I love that, this is an amazing tool for insurance agents. And it's really adopting that mindset of just giving, right? Because what you give out in life comes back to you tenfold. If we could teach the business world, and we're out to do that, that mindset, wow, amazing things can happen in people's business. So Travis, thanks so much for joining me on here tonight. So to our guests that are here tonight, I'm so excited that you joined us. I want you to get back with the person who invited you onto this webinar. I want you to get your questions answered. I'd love for you to join us. We have several ways you can get started with Promptings and our send out cards system. The first is through our Promptings mechanism 10 card challenge. This gives you 10 cards, stamps included, anywhere in the world to be used over the next 20 days for $20. 10 cards, 20 days, $20. It's an amazing way. If you're not sure, I challenge you to take that challenge. It's an amazing way to test drive our system. If you are like, oh my goodness, I am in, you may want to look at our Promptings mechanism, heartfelt prompting cards. We have a $37 a month subscription. It gives you 20 cards, including stamps, anywhere in the world, plus discount on our gifts and discount on our system cards. We also have our 97 unlimited heartfelt prompting cards. So any of those that fall in that heartfelt prompting, those are included, no matter if you send 1, 3, 5, 7, 10 of those a day, stamps included. You get our biggest discount on gifts. You get a big discount on our system cards, and shipping you get a discount on. We also have our Promptings process package. This kind of puts the best of everything together. It includes our unlimited heartfelt subscription. It includes 100 system cards to get you started. The system cards, like Joy said, where she creates it once and can send it out to multiple people. It gives you a virtual assistant to help you get everything started. It gives you a coach to help coach you into Promptings. It gives you a ticket, actually 3 tickets to our upcoming Prompting seminar on August 19th. This one is filled with many things. It's over a $1,500 value. You can get it for $497. And then you have the $97 a month that you can cancel at any time. We also have other options, including our system cards. Again, we have something for everyone. So I want you to get back with that person who invited you onto this webinar, get your questions answered. They can help you figure out what option is best for you. And I would be amiss if I don't mention that we also have an opportunity here. If you love what you see and you'd like to get paid to share this with others, talk to that person who invited you. They are an affiliate with our company. We would love for you to join us. So no matter how you get started, please get back with that person and let me be the very first person to welcome you to Promptings. Thanks, everyone. Good night.